a folding chair. Uh, oh man. All right. Well, let's get this popping, man. Did I send this message out? What's up?
Fixing my stuff on my OBS real quick.
What's your friend in your girl in Canada name again? 'Cause she commented what's going on.
Catlina.
Yeah, okay, that's like cat something. Okay, there we
And she changes her name every now and again, so that confuses me. So we can go live if you're ready. Are you?
go. Yeah, might as well.
Just have a little unlicensed music in the background.
I'm trying to talk over it so that the algorithms don't get too mad.
All right, ready to go live, and we're going live and now.
Right.
Alrighty, here we are. Let me find the right screen. And we are good to go. And even though I just went live, I still gotta go find this and pause it. Now we're good. Thank you all for tuning in to yet another Showtime and Kev podcast. I'm Corey Showtime.
I'm Kevin Monroe, aka Kevlar Comedy, for reasons I cannot understand.
And together we make up the Showtime and Kev podcast, which cannot get started until Kevin does an island intro to scare Caucasians around the world. So Kevin, if you would be so kind.
In the name of the Paul and Bronx, last year, conquering tribe of Judah, King of Kings of Santa Cruz, making music festival and Bronx, and what up in this, please, Lord of mercy. The holiday come, the holiday.
That's right, folks. We are live and in color. We're doing our thing. Pun intended, I guess, when I said live and in color. But yeah, here we are yet again. Thank you, Kevin, for being alive so we can do this shit again, bro. How you been?
One week at a time, one day at a time, one movie at a time, man. I'm hitting like is it just me? Is anybody else that's like hitting like the bottom of the movie like barrel? Like you're running out of shit to watch now.
100%. Oh my god. I'm like, what's the most abstract thing you've come across so far, Kevin?
Well, I didn't know Showtime and BET had merged. So
What?
Showtime BET, you get the Showtime package. Showtime BET. Okay. So I ended up, it was like 1 in the morning, I was flipping around, and it showed the entire Jimmy Cliff, The Harder They Come from 1973.
Okay. Oh, okay, I got you.
That is Jamaican blaxploitation. That shit.
That's a thing? Jamaican blaxploitation. That sounds terrible.
Like, they can't afford no real bullets or nothing, so it's like firecrackers. Dudes getting, ketchup bullets on bullet holes. Ketchup bullet holes.
Oh, shit.
I mean, it's awesome, man. I remember, of course, when you're a kid in the Caribbean, like, that's one of the biggest movies that ever came out. But I was too young to watch it, because it came out in 1973. I was a kid up until, it must be like mid 80s before I was old enough to watch it. And I never got to see it because by then it just disappeared. But now it's here. So if you want to spend 2 hours trying to translate Jamaican patois.
No, I don't. I absolutely don't. I have enough time trying to translate half a Busta Rhymes CD. He just got that Brooklyn shit.
I wish I lived in Brooklyn. That would have been awesome.
Hey, thank you for rating my channel, man. I appreciate you. So Twitch is a thing right now. We popping. We doing this thing right now. How the kids say.
Whether you're looking at us on Facebook or on Twitch or however you're seeing us, thanks for coming in and checking us out. We try to keep it fresh every week. And of course, the world keeps giving us fresh stuff to go, what the hell is going on?
And what is on our agenda today, man?
Well, first of all, I'd like to start off with what I would call our musical coup. And if you can please play what we have in store here.
Gotcha. Oh, sorry. Ready? Yes, sir. Go for it.
Here we go. Oh, hey. No. Without you.
Kevin, instead of singing along, would you like to give the fine people some context to why Jennifer Hudson is just giving Jamie Foxx and his terrible perm the business right now?
Okay, hold on. Let me stop.
Woo! Who died on that conch, boy? That is some died, fried, and laid to the side. Ooh.
Oh, yeah. That's some chicken grease in there. The reason I brought up Jennifer Hudson as Effie because current president, soon to be ex-president, is acting like the biggest drama queen this side of Effie. Because everybody's like, you gotta go. And he's like, I'm saying there's no way. No way. It's just like, it's embarrassing. Like, even drama queens are like, man, pack it up, bro. Come on.
Yeah. Like basically, yeah, he doesn't want to leave. Another appropriate one would be the Wolf of Wall Street scene where Leo's like, not fucking leaving, like he's not going anywhere, and then you got the Trumpers all in the background, like, and
right. Or even better one, my third in place I had queued up was, remember Eddie Murphy and Dan Aykroyd in Trading Places?
Mm-hmm.
Where they end in Trading Places where like Dan Aykroyd and Eddie Murphy make all the money. And the two rich brothers are like, they're like, well, you lost all this money, you have to settle all accounts when at closing time when we close the bell. He's like, no, we've had a seat in this stock exchange since the 1800s. Turn the machines back on.
What about your brother?
His brother gets a heart attack. He's like, fuck it, I want my money. Turn the machines back on.
Like, Mr. Trump, what about your lawyers? Fuck them! Stop those votes and count those votes over there.
Right. It's a classic end of like an 80s movie where the greedy dick just gets his ass handed to him and he won't accept it. And it's just beautiful to watch, man.
Yeah, and it's I honestly, I know you're not supposed to wish violence upon me. I know you're supposed to, but if it gets to the point where the military has to remove the man, well, I guess you're gonna find out if all lives matter or not at that point, aren't we?
Oh yeah. I mean, I told people like, if it's, he was threatening. He was like, oh, they don't have to drag me out. I was like, you put that on pay-per-view, $49.95 on Showtime or pay-per-view, I will host a watch party.
The dictionary definition of irony would be Donald Trump being beaten by police on his last day at work.
What day is that? It's the 21st, January 21st.
20th or 21st, something like that. All I know is I got a barbecue schedule.
That's hilarious. It's a Wednesday. So it's inauguration day is a Wednesday.
Guess what day it is?
God, I wish it was a Friday, man. I wish it was the 22nd.
Oh yeah.
That would have been just like.
Well, it'd be 5 o'clock somewhere whenever the inauguration happens. So.
Right. But I would have loved for it to be Friday though, where you just be like, how the hell you get fired? You're not even supposed to be here.
Yeah.
Man, it's ridiculous now. Like today, he finally kind of half admitted. He's like, the reason I lost was because Joe Biden cheated. And everybody just took that first part, the reason I lost, and they just ran with it. They're like, really serious?
They got the sound bite. Thank you.
Right. That's good enough. Thank you. We'll take that.
And it's funny because he knew he was never going to admit it. He said before he got elected the first time that if I don't win, it's a scam. And if I do win, well, that's the will of the American people. And I just don't get why we're all still allowing this 75-year-old man to act like a child and get away with it.
Heads I win, tails you lose. It's a hell of a game he's playing.
Exactly.
But you know why? You know why people let him get away with this?
Why is that?
You know why they're letting him get away with this? It's the same reason that we are on this platform, while we're on Twitch, while we're on Instagram, while we're on Facebook. Fans! The dude has 70 million fans. Okay?
That's you lowballed him there a little bit. I'm pretty sure he's got 70 million fans in Texas.
Right. I'm home twice. Yeah, I mean, the same reason that when bookers, come to us, they're like, how many followers you got on Instagram? How many subscribers you got on your YouTube channel? It's the same thing to do with him. They don't give a damn. They're like, he's got 70 million people. He got to keep him out.
And he's still like, we really elected a wrestling heel that has the power to change like culture, and that's a scary thing. And it's enough to be like, all right, Biden's in, we can worry about like fixing the damage, but like you realize like this happened. Like the last 4 years, like that's in history now. Like we're gonna have to teach kids 20 years from now that aren't born yet about what happened for these 4 years.
Right, right. I mean, it's gonna be fucked up because like the next generation is gonna be laughing their asses off at us. Like they're gonna be doing high school kids like the year like 2040 is gonna be reading American history. They're like, y'all let them do what? Are y'all crazy?
So like time out.
You fucked a stripper?
Yeah. Like this dude paid hush money to a porn star, and the last guy had a tan suit.
We're gonna look hella stupid, man. We're gonna look like I think like children like 20 years from now will be like, you guys do not deserve to have a country. Like y'all
I mean, you hit the. Sometimes you just not naturally being from here hits the nail on the head in such an embarrassingly on the nose fashion. Like, yeah, we kind of don't. We didn't, like, we really took it, honestly. And when I say we, I mean that very loosely because I'm one of the tooken that was part of this country.
Right, right. Yeah, I mean, I always try to keep that little asterisk above whenever somebody says America's embarrassing themselves. It's like, who's we?
Yeah, like, for once, like, they always try to bait, like, niggas is the problem. Like, oh, well, look at those thugs out there defacing their community. I'm like, you can say the same thing about MAGA today. Come on now.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I mean, but back to this whole, like, wrestling heel idea, though. I mean, you watch wrestling more than me. I don't really, I mean, I have, like, the most, like, basic understanding. But the thing with wrestling, these wrestling heels is, if you don't watch wrestling, it doesn't bother you. Like, I don't know anything about, Abdullah the Butcher or, or Undertaker or any of those guys, but it doesn't bother me, It's kind of like, look, I don't care for country music, but I'm not there, like, trying to kill Kenny Chesney, like if you like that shit, go do it over there, and, in SoFi Stadium or whatever, but don't come over here with it.
Exactly. Enjoy your concert. I do not like country music, but at the same time, I'm not going to tell you not to listen to it. However, I'm pretty sure there's some degree of country music fans that will be out there trying to, like, do whatever they can to stop, say, hip-hop praise. But that's a problem for another day. I digress.
Man, it's just, I think there was a huge wire cross that happened. That people really love wrestling heels, they really love stories, they really love reality TV, and then somehow they just kind of lost the plot, and all of a sudden the politics turned into television.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really telling when the president got elected. He said, "My inauguration was one of the greatest days on television ever." Right? You know what I'm saying? Like, wait, you realize that this is real, right?
It was amazing for the guys in the truck because they were able to do something that the world has never seen before. They were able to make 10,000 people look like 100,000. That's why. So it was like great day for editing,
Oh yeah. The Photoshop guys definitely came out.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it is my thing. You can just write people off. Like, all right, this, like the whole COVID story. It's like, this COVID story isn't interesting. Can we just write that off the show? It's like, no, this is not the Young and the Restless, bro. You can't just get rid of a bunch of characters. Oh, they're sick. We don't want them on the show. And so it's. I mean, I feel bad because we're sort of playing around in this sort of entertainment industry, and it's like we're not necessarily part of the problem, but we're in an industry that supports this problem.
Yep.
Like the news, they care about ratings. I mean, this is why, like, right after, like, just this week, the LA Times, the New York Times, they turned over the entire editorial to Trump supporters. They wanted to hear what Trump supporters had to say about it.
That's not a good idea.
Nah, I was like, I can tell you, ding, 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 ding. I can tell you what they wanted to say.
What? Power.
Niggers, Mexicans, Arabs.
That's pretty much like it's a damn shame that Chappelle was he was ridiculing that, and then that came out of he was doing a parody of what he thought racism was, and then we all found out like, nah, you're not even close. We'll make it worse.
Right, this is what we're really about. And one of them in the paper today, she was saying, oh, yeah, the Million MAGA March happened, but at least it didn't burn or loot anything because they have class. And I'm like, you call a bunch of Nazis classy.
And you know I'm banned from Twitter for calling Mitch McConnell a turtle face, so and I'll do it to his face. But
no disrespect to turtle face hoes out there.
Nah, turtles or hoes, you're both very necessary to your ecosystem, regardless. But I saw a link from Twitter that was on my Facebook page, and yeah, that you can't say they have class because they're out, beating the crap out of each other and lighting stuff on fire right now. Man, this white on white crimes really got out of control. I blame the schools.
Yeah, who's their leader, really? They really need to talk to. Where are the white leaders right now?
Yeah.
Where
is Ja?
Where's the Undertaker? Where's trying to think who the white leaders are.
Undertaker, be real, the dude that plays the Undertaker hates those fucking.
Okay, that's true. Where's Lil Pump? Shout out to Lil Pump.
Where's Lil Wayne? Where are the white leaders at?
Which this kind of segues into the second thing that was happening this weekend, which is of course the Million MAGA March. And
can't do shit original, can they?
What's that?
Can't do shit original, can they?
Nah, okay, that's number one. Number one. Here you go again, stealing black people's stuff. We came up with the Million Man March in the 90s, okay? We had a million dudes. Farrakhan came out there, brought black people together, said his usual crazy gibberish about Jewish people, poison the water or whatever he does, you don't know about that. But, I mean, Spike Lee made a good movie about it, Get on the Bus, it was a real thing. Now, that was actually literally a million people. Now you have, 5,000 dudes wearing the G.I. Joe uniforms running around D.C. Come on. I mean, at least make people better. This is like the Pat Boone version of Little Richard.
They got their G.I. Joe uniforms with their American flag T-shirts and underwear. And hey, shout out to my boy Kenny. He's watching this. And they got their Call of Duty guns that they made at home. And
right.
It just drives me wild that so many of these people have these ideals and think they could be part of a militia, but they didn't serve. Like, right. If that was really your game, if you really love this country, why didn't you join the Marines or the Air Force or the Army? What's the deal with that? And the ones that did, why did you come out with this weird, messed up version of patriotism? Like, you had to serve with all different people from all different walks of life. People that, there's a lot of immigrants in the military that aren't even citizens yet. So I don't get how you can feel that way about people.
Well, see, that's how you know they're fake, because, people who really do serve, they serve people from all over the world. And, when you're in a firefight, you're not like, oh, I'm not letting this nigger, cover me. No, it's like, if you're in a foxhole, everybody's together, so they don't play that shit. It's all you guys just hanging out in your basements or basements. I hate this basement thing. It's like, no, these people, live above us. I mean, I think liberals like fantasize that the people that are doing this, racist shit or, losers hanging out somewhere. Nah, these guys are your coworkers. But and then they get on Call of Duty at night and go crazy, and on the weekends, they're out in the woods, just anybody got a picture of a Jew who can shoot,
I was going through I was arguing with somebody on the internet about Trump, and I ended up looking up some of his most racist policies, and I forgot, because this happens a lot. We talked about how he just gives you volume craziness so that you can't keep anything straight. I forgot that he put up an executive order to keep gays and trans people from serving in the military. And that's just the height of racism, because one, that's just outright discrimination. And two, it eliminates a strategic advantage. Just think about this. If you're fighting a force that's very religious and very say we were really just outright going out against something like Sharia law or Muslims.
Okay, let's see where you're going with
it. Yeah, say we have the Taliban right in front of us, right? What's more upsetting to them than a platoon full of gays and trans with guns coming right there? They're very confused at this point. Strategic advantage.
Oh yeah, it's like wait, we do not shoot women. Wait, is that not what?
And while you're confused, and then next thing you know, you get hit with a rainbow explosion, and we win.
Night to night. Yeah, it's so stupid. None of this has any rhyme or reason, by the way. Like this is I mean, there's no strategy doing anything.
They say it's Christian conservatism, but like that doesn't make it.
I can't be bothered with those people anymore. They show their hands, you know. They're much better angry with the Nazis.
You can't claim to have Christian ideals and then vote for the guy who, you know, cheated on his last baby mama with his current baby mama and a porn star. And I'm not mad at that in a bubble, but like as the president, come on, bro.
Well, I mean, he's playing the preacher out, like, you know, come on, you know, that's just the preacher, you know, times 1,000. You know, which is another thing I'm gonna get to in a second.
Right.
Here's what I'm gonna say about the Million MAGA March is not only these guys not well trained, these motherfuckers do not know how to fight for shit. Oh my god. Have you seen the footage?
Please find it and I'll share your screen for you. But like no, I haven't. But I can only assume when your nickname is the Mayonnaise Mafia, I don't think of very toned, like violent people, you know. I think of pudgy, out of shape guys that might slap you or attempt to slap you a few times and then get winded. That's why it's usually why the guns, you know, it doesn't take a lot of energy to squeeze the trigger.
These guys, they're not gonna be on cops. You know, cops that have like the chase scene where it's like, oh, he's running, like that. That's never gonna happen.
You know what's always funny about the cops chases? The cameraman used to hold his own, if not would outrun the cop. Like he would always, the cameraman was like on the suspect better than the cops would be. He's carrying equipment, and this was back in the '90s when the shit was still tethered to the damn truck.
If I don't get this footage, I'll eat. So fuck the police.
He could have running with 3 miles of cable.
Like the fucking sailor, he's like, am I running from the police or from the camera? I don't know. Either one was bad.
Cameraman caught the guy a couple times. Like, I got him. I tied him up with the rope. Come in. I tied him with the camera wire. Help me.
So check this out. So this is some footage. Of course, they try to cut it up to make it look as if like the evil black Antifa was beating up this.
I think you gotta share it to a different one. We still have, and I am telling you. I'm not gonna do the voice anymore. I apologize.
Yeah. Okay. Let me share. New technology, people. Check this out. Yeah. So, bam. There we go. Share audio.
Also, I just realized it looks like I am sitting in front of the smallest brick wall in the world.
I know comedy clubs have shrunk down lately, so this is like 90s TV at the Improv.
Alright,
anyway, check this out. This is footage from Million MAGA March. These dudes trying to start shit, and then you don't start one will be. Okay.
Trump supported a bunch of black people trying to jump in, you know, the usual. I don't know.
See, so that's the dude that started shit.
Hey, don't.
It's an old white dude.
Oh, come on, man. Oh, yeah, I'm terrified of you right now, bro. Oh, are you swinging on women? This is not going to end well for Jeff from accounting. He's only going after the women. Somebody whoop his ass, please. Bing! Yo, he just got hit with the club punch. Yo, I'm giving that a 4 for form and a 10 for execution because it definitely did the job. That shit was. Can you run that back real quick? I can't control your screen. I'm gonna need you to rewind that.
Okay, so right about here, like this is the part where it's like, all right, you started hitting a bunch of women and people are gathered around like, no sir, that's not happening. Yeah. At this point, there's nobody in your six. You out here with your old man skills. This shit's not gonna end well. Here we go.
So he got hit with a combo. And he's pushing people away. And here. That's that punch you get hit with in the club when you've been talking shit, but you didn't know how many people was there. Like Cat Williams talked about that in his own special, where it's like you could go and say "fuck everybody in the club," and what you cannot, like, you can do that, but what you cannot do is then try to exit the club and get safely to your vehicle because someone is gonna come with the behind the right hook, you know.
Yeah, that's a straight up boomerang right there.
Yeah.
But
Dude didn't even drop his sign. I'm impressed.
Man, I mean, he set himself up for that though, because number one, he started off by attacking the dude that was on the microphone.
Yeah.
I mean, never mind the commentary over going, "Oh, this is black people doing this." No, you came up in there and started hitting people, and then when they pushed you out of the way, you started sucking on women.
Yeah.
Now, you immediately like flip the death card on at this point.
Exactly.
The laser sight is on your head at this point. The target, the weapon has been launched.
I don't know what I don't know why I feel this way, but personally, I just would have hit him with the sign because, like, if I've got a weapon on me, I'm gonna use it. I admire the dude's restraint and his aggression at the same time for hitting that dude because it's just kind of necessary. I'm never really a guy for sucker punches, but that was a sucker. He deserved to be punched.
Yeah, he treated the way he treated everybody else because they were not even like there to fight. Like, they just standing on their side. He started throwing like full blows at women's heads.
Well, I thought you were gonna show. I saw. I think it was a clash between MAGA themselves or whatever. Like, just saw a bunch of them like all kind of fighting each other, and I didn't see a single punch landed. I just saw a lot of flailing and falling and not coordinated attempts at violence. And yeah, that's usually why everybody buys guns because the fighting part is very difficult and can lead to being embarrassed and brutally maimed and all kinds of other things. Nobody really, like, if you ain't about that life, then don't do it. You know?
Right. Yeah, exactly. I mean, and they love to record themselves like, watch this. And then all of a sudden, like, it's like you look like a seal that's been like pulled out of the water. Like,
it's an old stock joke. What does a redneck say right before he's seriously injured? Watch this.
Right. I mean, but that's just how it went down this weekend. And the other thing to observe about all this is throughout all this violence, there is no police.
Yes, that's an excellent point. That's a frustrating point. Because when there's nonviolence, when there's peace, when we're having a peaceful protest and a rally and people coming together, you can get a wall of police officers with shields and tanks and tear gas. But when it's the preferred side of the police, they surprisingly have very light security, you know? And if anything, they're there to protect MAGA. They're not there to protect everyone. They're not there to keep order. They're there to protect the people they think they want to protect. And it's very frustrating to see that because that's a clear, it's not just illegal, that's against the Constitution. You're supposed to be there for us.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's kind of, it's hard to fight people when they're friends, right? Like, you might see you in the streets, like, "Hey, Corey, what you doing out here, man? Man, just get my fight on. All right, man. All right, I'll let you next week."
Yeah, I'll see you at the rally.
I mean, half of these dudes, it's no joke. Like, some of these people, they are friends with the police, and so the police see them and do the ole.
Yeah.
Ole.
The old James Harden defense, huh?
Yep. Ole. They just let them go by.
Yep.
And and then of course, what I'm showing you, because we talked over it, you didn't hear the commentary on top. But then what happens after that is that those people, they say, "Oh, look at these wild black people beating up this old man," and they chop the video from the part where the dude was walking away to when he got that sucker punch, and cut out the entire part where he was beating like throwing blows at everybody.
Yeah.
Right. And so, of course, because that's how you make money. Right? It's like, oh, these black Antifa people beating our people up $75 to donate for the defense fund. And, there's some guy named Doug in Colorado that's making money off his YouTube channel for this, So, so the game is so foul at this point, man. He can't tell what's what.
It's the way of the world, bro. Wish we could change it, but that's what we're doing what we can from where we are, Armchair quarterbacking this bitch from our house. Doing what we can, podcasting about it, to the ones of people that give a shit.
Right. Yeah. Well, these things they tend to they expand over time.
Yeah.
By the way, this is our 51st episode of doing this.
Holy
week.
shit. 51st episode, man. Congratulations. I forgot. Like, so yeah, it has been almost a year. Next week will be a year.
Yeah. I mean, of doing it this like split screen way. And we've only done 2 of the virtual podcasts. I'm looking forward to doing those more and posting those up because that has a bit more flavor to it. But man, I mean, people have to talk about this stuff, man. I mean, you have to get it out. I mean, even if you feel like nobody's really paying attention or you don't feel like it's getting out far enough, that saying like, a lie can run around the world twice while the truth is putting its sneakers on. I mean, that doesn't mean that you stop telling the truth. It just means that you have a lot of work to do to catch these motherfuckers.
I never heard that phrase before, but it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, I mean, the guy that shot that video and like put that fake cover on top of it. Oh, look at these black people beating up these nice Nazis. That shit. I mean, for real. I mean, it's kind of like that's what he's saying.
Look at these savages attacking this poor hate monger.
Right, exactly. Look, he's a nice grandpa. It's like, yeah, okay, grandpa, have a nap. Right.
Yeah. That shit kicked in quick, didn't it?
And the thing is, Trump, exactly, yeah, dirt nap, let's go. Trump retweeted that. Like so the guy who made the video, he put it on Twitter and Trump retweeted it. Right?
That's
So 70 million people see this old white dude fall on the ground like, oh, look at these black savages beating him up. Like, no, rewind. Look how it started.
This whole situation is insane. Like, we're living in a world where for the next 2 months of the last 4 years, we have a racist influencer as president, to where he can take a tweet and like, oh, see, look at he can change the rhetoric that he wants to,
Yeah, I like that word though. He is an influencer. I mean, except instead of like selling champagne or cologne.
Yeah. Well, he's done that. He's done both of those.
Man.
Trump. What would Trump cologne smell like besides Cheetos and bacon grease?
Sweaty desperation. Man, I don't know how he's gonna play this up now though, because here's what's gonna happen. Like
Hookers underwear and $10,000. That's exactly what Trump cologne smells like.
Oh, God. Yeah, smells like McDonald's and some aftershave from the '80s. Like he probably still uses that Brute 33 shit that stays in Dad's closet for like decades.
I got it. Aqua Velva and gym socks.
Ooh, something around there. Aqua Velva. Oh, for the hair. Okay, you gotta get that right. Look, man, but I mean, the game is folding right now because it's like he's down to his last credit card and he's done scammed everybody. So like he owes like about $500 million to $1 billion coming due in 2022 and 2024, right? And that's not. And the way he used to get out of this was get another loan. There's no more banks. Like he's burned everybody. So he's got nothing. The only thing he's doing now is he's pulling the Creflo dollar right now, which is hilarious. He's passing the plate. Okay, can I just pass the plate one more time, everybody? Can I just pass the plate?
If my God wants me to have a $600 million plane, you can't stop me from dreaming.
Like Creflo Dollar's probably watching TV like, this motherfucker.
Yo, and Creflo got the jet.
Creflo didn't get the jet though.
There was enough ignorant motherfuckers in bright colored suits every Sunday that gave him money to buy a jet. And that's what scares me. Because there's enough NASCAR collectible plates out there for him to get the money.
Yeah. Now you think Creflo got his money. He told me to get the private jet because Jesus said I should have a private jet. Now, imagine you have 70 million fans, and they all send you $5 a piece. 70 times 5 is $350 million. Right. That'll cover that first chunk of the debt. Now, what he needs is another $400 million to cover the other part. So I don't know what kind of game he's going to be playing there, but he might have to go full Benny Hill. I just won't get to.
And I'd like to toss this in there. Remember back when HSBC Bank got busted laundering money for, like, I think it was El Chapo or one of them drug cartels, and it was just on the news, and then just gone. Just a slap on the wrist, $1.2 billion fine, big deal. Like they literally make that today, right? Guess who gave Trump his last loan?
Not HSBC.
Look it up.
Really? I thought it was Deutsche Bank. Okay, all right.
It's Deutsche Bank, HSBC, some of those too. Like one of those banks that laundered money for the cartels is in bed with it. I know it had. The reason I brought that up is because it popped in my head. I was like, wait, that was the same bank. So it might have been Deutsche Bank, it might have been HSBC, but I know both of those are probably guilty of money laundering. And Trump's in trouble for laundering money, or will be in trouble for laundering money for the Russians. They're just trying to figure out how. And I'm sure it has something to do with the fact he only paid $750 in taxes the last 15 years. 15 years. I paid more sales tax this year than Trump's paid in income tax in the last 15.
Yeah, I know. When you bought your nice computer and you bought your headset, you covered his taxes
in spades.
The game is so loud.
My computer ain't even that nice. I mean, it's really nice. It's nice for me. I enjoy it. But I'm like, it's not like the top of it. It's not like, like a supercomputer and shit. It's not like I bought something super expensive. I got a PC,
Right. Well, the problem is who's going to bail the cat? I mean, if everybody at the top level's got their hands in the cookie jar, then it's like, who's the first person to talk? You know what I mean?
I feel like people have talked, but they've already been silenced. Like, I've said this before, and I haven't found anything else around it to make it a bit. Do you have any idea how guilty of something you have to be for your lawyers to go to jail?
Right. Yeah, normally it's the other way around. When the lawyer's like, look, man, we can't do nothing for you.
Yeah.
Like Trump has told his lawyers, like, look, man, you have to sit down for a minute.
That's some Stringer Bell shit to be like, yo, hey man, we gonna put some money on your books. We gonna make sure you got the proper cell. You don't got to worry about somebody shaking you. Nothing. We got you in there. Just sit tight and keep your mouth shut.
I'm the lawyer. It's like an inverted gangster movie. Like, how is this happening?
I've never in the rock means ever heard of a lawyer going to jail for their client. Never, ever, 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 ever. Even when they're married.
I mean, what's going to unfold in the next 90 days, man? It's gonna be so. I mean, I just hope it doesn't turn like ugly to the point where people start disappearing or motherfuckers, start needing to have food tasters for their tea,
Oh, you mean like over in Russia?
Yeah, where it's like I needed, or like Iraq, when Saddam was like, I got 3 Saddams running around. I mean, they already got 2 Melanias. They might need 3 Trumps to keep this shit.
Yo, that's right. Yo, I thought it was a joke. I thought people were just being funny. Nah, they really got a Melania stunt double and shit. Right. And she's the real MVP because he's fucking her too.
Like, stay in character.
And she's just sitting there laying there just like.
Hey, it's part of the job. Okay, you take this seriously or not? You're a professional or not? Come on.
Do it for your country.
I don't even know how twisted that would be where you not only you bang your baby mama, but your fake baby mama too. Like, I mean,
man.
This shit is going down a rabbit hole of depravity.
And the body double gave the game away when she was smiling and looking happy to be there and holding his hand. People were like, that's not her.
Exactly. Like, she's holding his hand. Like, all right, this is they might as well be like 3 children in a jacket, like a fake human being. Like, come on.
But that jacket's gotta say, I don't really care. Do you?
Can you imagine the life you live when you have to have you gotta have a stunt double for your girl?
Sounds awesome, honestly.
I don't want to get you in trouble. Pull back. Cut the segment.
Dude.
She's in the other room like, what?
Yeah, I'm like, oh she could have a stuffed double too. I'll come home one day and Idris Elba will be in my bed and be like, oh yeah, stuffed double.
It's like, oh, all right, man. I hope you're union because it should be.
Yeah, your day rate sucks.
Shouldn't get exploited like this.
Yeah, talk to your agent. You can do better. I took that one step. Anyway, back to what we're talking.
No, but, okay. The reason this goes back to the very first thing you asked is why do we put up with this shit? Is because of fans. And the same reason we have to put up with, trying to build up fan bases because nobody wants to fuck with you unless you have a lot of fans. And also with politics now, you can get primary if you don't have fans. Right? And primary just means that, hey, I want to rerun for Senate. Oh, guess what? We're going to send all the money to your competitor and we're going to bury you. So you don't even make it out the primary to rerun.
Okay.
And that happened to the one cat that crossed him, Jeff Flake from Senator from Arizona. This was like 2017, 2018 when we rerun for Senate.
Mm-hmm.
And he came out there with his happy ass. He's like, I can't, in good conscience, deal with this Donald Trump character. He's a charlatan.
And various other white words.
Exactly. What is this malarkey? Man is unqualified.
He's got a history of malfeasance and tomfoolery.
Exactly. He left the press conference, his car blew up like the fucking Godfather. And that was it. Like, the dude, he didn't even make it to run against the Democrat. Like, he got primary. And that's what people are scared of because Trump has a lot of people behind him.
I feel like that's what keeps happening to Bernie.
Bernie's running into a different problem. Two things. One, the DNC is like, they're like old school Chicago, been around for like 80 years. Like, if you dig through the DNC, like you'll find like old Irish mobsters and shit, like started shit.
If you dig through anything in America, you're gonna find a mobster from somewhere. Like this whole country is full of gangsters. Like we literally took people that would have been criminals from America and said, we're gonna come over here and steal this country and start a country.
And the first generation were the mobsters, the guys with the sharp elbows, and the second and third generation they kind of cleaned it up. But if you just you scrape the surface a little bit, it's like okay, these Irish guys are originally like mobsters, and they don't fuck with these guys over there because your grandfather killed his grandfather, like
Perfect.
Yeah. So Bernie keeps running up against this machine that's been around for a long time, and the second part of it is. And here's the thing that really pisses me off about Bernie. He could get somewhere if he would just fucking talk to black people. It's like you're not going to win by winning Vermont. Okay, you got Vermont. You got the Whole Foods people. Okay,
good luck with that.
What's that?
I said good luck. Yeah, how many people are in Vermont? I think there's more people in my neighborhood than there are in the entire state of Vermont. And I'm not exaggerating.
So, we're doing a great job. Look at New Hampshire, look at Delaware, look at dog. Have you been to Atlanta once?
I don't think so. He knows enough to shake hands with black people, but I don't think he spent enough time actually, caring about what we do. And it's too bad he's gonna die before we can have a better election because I love his platform. A better election, fair election.
Yeah. The shit he's saying makes sense, but it doesn't work for black people. And because black people will tell you, and if you ask black politicians, they'll tell you the same shit. They make the rules, and the rules are supposed to work for everybody. But white people will always carve out a special exception so that black people don't get theirs.
Yep.
That's just how politics works. They'll be like, oh yeah, everyone should have access to healthcare, except these people are living in Gwinnett County between this block and that block. Like, yo, that's where I live.
Gerrymandered your healthcare.
Exactly. Everyone in East Hollywood should have free access to healthcare except this block or this block. Like, yo, I live right there. Yeah, sorry, bro. And that's what they do. And a smart politician, if Bernie was as smart as he thinks he is, he should be like, yes, we need to have equal healthcare. Yes, we have Medicare for all. Yes, we should forgive student debt. But make sure there's no loopholes to keep black people out, which is what you motherfuckers always do.
Yep.
didn't do it. So,
and here we are. And now we got Biden, and we will have all the loopholes you can ask for.
well, we're gonna try to do everything, you know. I mean, we're gonna like keep our eye on him, make sure he's not playing that game. Like, well, we need to reach across the aisle and make sure that fuck the other aisle, man. Fuck them.
That's gonna be that's also a very interesting question. Like, how are we going to like? Damn, how everything's gonna get back to normal? Because getting back to normal, I've already thrown that idea. But like, politics as usual is the phrase. How do you get back to politics as usual? How are you going to? How do you work with these people after the insanity we just ensued? We just endured.
I think for the short term, the answer is you don't. You know, I mean, I learned early if you keep giving that bully your lunch money, at some point, you know, he's going to keep expecting it every day. You have to kick him in the nuts and tell him to go fuck off. First. Go home and learn some manners and come back to me. So, like, for the next 6 months, they need to all shut the fuck up. Like, if I was a Democrat, if I was a Democratic senator or congressman, I am not reaching a goddamn fingernail across the aisle. You'll piss your own pants, sit in your warm pee and deal with it. Okay?
Very graphic analogy.
But for real, like, you fuck this up. I'm not out here trying to clean up your mess. You figure it out.
And like, there's a lot of mess to clean up too. Like, we're gonna have to like, Obama got things squared away after Bush pretty much fucked up the back. Like, the economy was in the shit. Obama got the country moving right, and then Trump tried to do everything he could to undo Obama just for the simple fact he was black and made him mad. And now we got to get back to putting back into place the progress we had been making. And, you know, like, however people feel about Obama, the dude tried his best and got us all health care. We still have this mess of a health care plan because the Republicans have been trying to tear it apart. We need an actual thing for people when they get sick, period. We got a million other problems, but that's the main thing. It's like, look, we have a pandemic right now, and you're still trying to charge people for not being able to go to work or getting sick and being stuck in the hospital. What? Like, you can't keep preying on us for not being healthy, you know?
Right. And that's going to get even worse now because if you have COVID, you're probably going to have a pre-existing condition next.
Exactly.
Because even if you survive it, you know, either your lungs, your liver, or something's wrong with you. So the idea that you can block out your pre-existing conditions, who's left? Everybody's sick at this point.
Yeah, baby would have a pre-existing condition at this point.
The baby's like, yeah, man. I gotta stop smoking these cools.
You spent some time in West Virginia, haven't you, Kevin?
North Carolina, a little bit. I mean,
I'm glad you get the reference though. I've definitely seen a toddler with a cigarette before.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you. But it's too tight to mention right now, young blood.
Yeah, I can picture Big Wheel for about 35 hours.
Exactly. Come back Tuesday. But I mean, the only way this shit's gonna work is if, you know, we have to do the same okey-doke. Like, Obama's memoirs is coming out now, and he's saying in his memoirs that he deliberately picked Biden because he couldn't, like, in 2008, they didn't want to be seen negotiating with a black man. So he had to send Biden as like a what do you call it, like a decoy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like a proxy. It's like, oh, like sometimes you hang out with your white friends and you know, you want to, like, I don't know, like get a better seat at a restaurant or something. Like, send a white dude to go talk. I'm not going to go there.
Yo,
I've done it in my lifetime. Like, nah, this is your job, buddy. This is your job.
Yo, dead ass. When I was in high school, the parents of the players of the team wanted us all to hang out together, not just because we were friends, but for our own safety. Like, if we're going out to a party or something, like, A, we're the football teams, we can protect each other. Big guys work out. B, we're all different races, so, like, if, say, 5 of us are in a car, 2 black, 3 white, odds are it's not gonna, like, some bullshit's gonna go down. Like, if it's 5 black kids in the car, some shit's gonna go down. 5 white kids in the car are gonna be okay. 2 or 3 white kids mixed in there helps us out. Like, they preach that to us, you know?
Yeah.
Like, just mix yourselves up. Bring some white people with you outside. You know what I mean? Like,
right. Okay, this is your job, man. Go run interference. You know?
it's like, if anything happens, send Tommy out there to talk to the cops.
Yeah, and make sure he says, "These are my friends."
Yeah. Yeah.
That shit is so loud, man. Well, I mean, I don't know how this is going to work out. The next, like, 2 months are going to be crazy because, basically trying to evict the dude that, he's probably going to leave the bathrooms clean, he's probably going to leave broken furniture. They probably have to tent the whole White House and put a full-on tent, fumigate that motherfucker.
He's doing shit so petty. It's like you're the landlord and you have this resident that hasn't paid rent in 6 months and he knows he can't leave. I mean, you tried everything to kick him out, but the law is on his side for whatever reason. And that's Trump right now. He's doing petty shit. Like, he's not even giving any transition to the Biden team. He won't give them any information on COVID. He won't give them anything that they need that's vital to the presidency right now. Just on some petty shit.
Yeah. I mean, it's all petty. He's probably like unscrewing the doorknobs right now.
Drinking all the orange juice and putting it back in the fridge empty. Just being a dick.
Who drank all the orange juice and put the carton back? Yeah, for real.
Wiping his nuts on the fucking couch. Just everything he can think of.
Oh God, it's gonna be so bad, man. I'm not so much worried about it because they're gonna clean them out. But what happens next with it is the peoples. Like they keep coming up with people talking about burning down this black church or going after this person or trying to kidnap this governor, that governor. I mean, and they got this new thing, parlay. I don't know if you've been on that.
I thought it was called parlay.
It's French parlay.
It's pronounced parlay.
Which it should be, but because it's America, it's how you say it's Dubois, not Du Bois, but whatever.
Okay, so it's Parler.
Yes.
And it's pronounced parlay.
It's French for speak.
I haven't heard a single human being call it parlay. Yes, Kevin.
Well, this is America. You guys don't speak any other languages. So that's
we barely speak this one.
Struggling with English, I guess.
Yeah.
But isn't that the worst, like, mass exodus of all these people from Facebook onto Parlay because they didn't like being banned on Facebook for threatening to be at people? I mean, isn't this like the worst, like, Hartman, screw you guys, I'm going home.
It's very hypocritical, and it's also necessary because it makes Facebook a little bit better for everybody else. Now we can just get back to arguing about sports and other shit that don't matter. But at the same time, it puts all of the people that the FBI would have to monitor. FBI is watching everything anyway. But if FBI, NSA, all the shit, we're all screwed if it came down to that. We're all big brother, whatever. But all the people that they would normally have to put into a little box or put into a special case have put themselves into a special case. So it's like, I don't have to check Facebook for threats of terrorism anymore. I just have to decide which one of the millions of threats of terrorism on Parler is actually valid.
Right. It's basically you're cutting their work down by an order of magnitude.
Yeah.
Instead of having to sift to find the bad actors, the bad actors are all here. We just want to know which one is actually really about to do some shit.
Exactly. It's like if there was a school shooters club at the high school. It's like, okay, now I know where to direct my attention.
Exactly. Hey, welcome to the Valley High School Shooters. First of all, I'd like to introduce Matt. Everyone says Matt. Hi, Matt. I'm Matt. Hey, Matt. I'm Matt.
It's all Matts. It's also it's really funny that they feel like they're I've noticed they advertise on Parler free speech. That's the main thing, free speech. But it's like, you had free speech on Facebook. That's why you got the consequences. What you want is no consequences. Stop advertising free speech. Start advertising no consequences. Because the reason you can't speak freely is because when you do, you say some shit that's dangerous. Not like, oh, well, like, you can't respect my opinion. No, you're trying to incite a riot. You're trying to start someone to get in a fight. You're trying to say it's okay to kill people because it's different. None of that shit is okay. And there are consequences to that kind of speech. So what you want is to be able to do a hate speech without getting banned for 30 days.
Right. Yeah, so it's like a hate speech honeypot. Like, okay, I just want to be able to get this off my chest. Yeah, but that's how America is now. Like, anything that's labeled as freedom or any act named free or this or that, like you don't even have to like peel the top off. You're like, I want freedom. Uh-oh.
Yeah, like all the stuff that Americans used to just have as cliche Americana, like freedom, peace, the American way, the American flag. All that shit is like a gang sign now. Like, the Trump team is taking all that over. They're taking red, white, and blue as their colors. They're taking all the phrases like we the people, Second Amendment, all these little buzzwords that you hear that would normally like be attached to the Constitution or something dealing with America is now like, oh, this dude's probably going to shoot up the place because we voted for that guy.
Yeah.
Or because we want women to have rights, or black people to be able to not get killed by the police. Like, and because he feels the other way, he's got to wear his assault rifle at Starbucks.
Well, at least they haven't started dancing yet. I mean, there's no equivalent of like MAGA sea walking, which would just be very sad.
I beg to differ. And I hate to bring this up, but have you seen Trump's little?
Oh God, is that MAGA sea walking? Oh God, no! Don't give him any ideas.
He had more rhythm than I expected. I'll give him that.
No, he looks like one of those things you put on your dashboard. You know, like those little Hawaiian bobble lines. Just like, oh God. Anyway, it looks like those things. Remember when you were a kid, you used to get those like big like blow up like boxers with like the solid base, so you punch it and then like lean back and come back. I love those things. You punch those things all day. Yeah, exactly.
I technically have one of those in my backyard.
Oh God.
Well, Amazon called it a reflex punching bag and charged me $120.
Yeah, that's all it is. You can go to a fair and get that for like $9.95. You get it as all as a kid. So bad. Oh man. Well, man, hey, we're coming close up to the hour. I know we have some things coming up this week. Can you tell people what you've got in store?
Yes, well, the first ever RCS telecomedy jam is coming at you on Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. Please go to Eventbrite. Just look up RCS or anything like that, Robinson Comedy Services. And please tune in. It is a pre-show. I originally had it on Facebook Live as like a $5 to get in thing, and that's fucking stupid. So I'm reworking this into a Zoom link, making it a regular Zoom show. And please tune in because I've got some of the funniest people I can find. It's my buddy Kevin, of course, myself, Ty Barnett, Mateen Stewart, Becky Lynn, Andy Southern, my buddy Derek Murray, and I'm pretty sure I'm forgetting at least one other person, but it is a fantastic show, and we can just, it won't cost you anything except a donation to the Venmo of the comedian or comedians of your choice. And or if you want to donate to me, I will use it to make the show even better.
Oh, yeah, because Corey's a private jet, people. And if Jesus is Corey needs a private jet for his show, and that's what he's going to get.
I don't want a private jet. I'm honestly trying to, if I'm raising money right now, it's to rent out a venue, which is a lot cheaper than normal right now, to have like a show that would be, like, it would be like half and half. Like, it would be socially distanced, but I would still put it out to like Zoom or whatever. So, like, you get double feedback as the comedian. Because I'm just trying to get back to where we can do comedy again, man. Like, I really don't care about, like, I'm good. Like, I'm not like, balling or anything like that. But, like, that's not important right now. Like I have a day job. I'm good. There's a lot of comics out there that this is their only... Huh?
We gotta get the live audience back again. And people have some kind of feel You know, and also give us that feel too, because man, I mean, we've been out in the wilderness for a while, you know, and it's just like, I mean, I've seen some really good comics doing these Zoom shows, and they'll tell you right away, like, man, I feel rusty as hell. Like they'll tell the audience right away, I feel rusty.
I just did a comedy festival and I felt rusty. And I did good, but I still should have been. It is, but yeah, like the fact that I haven't had my usual gym to work out my punchlines at, it hurts, and we need this back. So this is just me trying to do something to get back to the art, so we can get the art back.
Yeah. If we can figure that out, you know, hopefully the next couple of weeks, you know, there's gonna be some. We're waiting to hear what the mayor says, what the governor says about California, but hopefully we're gonna have be able to do outdoor venues or like distance venues, something, you know, to get real people back in the room, let us, you know, touch and bless the mic again. That'd be great. So yeah, I'll be there on Tuesday. So you know, definitely check us out on Zoom. I'll post the locations on my Facebook, on my Twitter, on Instagram. So you know, all my people that follow me on Facebook, please come check out the show. And yeah, that's it for now, I guess.
All right. Okay, folks, that is another one wrapped up. That is number 51 that we've been doing in this weird, socially distant world. Thank you for tuning in. We will be back next week, same black time, same black station. Please tune in to the RCS Comedy Jam. And yeah, get off my Wi-Fi for right now. I got shit to do. You guys are expensive. Eugene Covington, I just saw that you sent all this stuff, man. I wish I would have said something.
I didn't see it.
There we go. Finally made some stuff. All right. Anyway, we got to get out of here. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Peace out.
All right, later.